Hello there everyone, welcome back to the channel. My name is Botox Games, and today we're going to be talking about the games I played in August 2023. I thought this might be a fun new thing we can do every month on the channel, talk about the games that we played in the past month, and just kind of discuss, because I play a lot of stuff that isn't just Nintendo. Most of it's Nintendo, but I play a lot of stuff, right? And not every game I play is going to be, you know, it's not necessarily the right fit for a full dedicated video. Like, a great example is I play a lot of Call of Duty. I can't really make a video talking about Modern Warfare 2. I played Yakuza this month. That's not really a Nintendo game, and this is a Nintendo channel. So I thought it'd be fun to do a video every month where I just talk about the games I'm playing, especially now that I'm not doing the podcast, which was a place where I was very happy to talk about the random games I play. I'm always playing a very wide breadth of games, so I thought this would be a fun idea, and maybe we'll continue it if you all like it. And of course, let me know what you've been playing down in the comments below, because I love getting a conversation going with you all. So let me know what you've been getting into. So we're kind of going in order here, and I'm mostly counting games I played a significant chunk of. You know, like this month I played the new Mario Kart DLC, I played a tiny bit of Final Fantasy XIV, but these are the main 5 things that I really sunk some time into in August of this year. So the first thing is Yakuza Kiwami, which I actually started at the end of July, but I finished it this month. Yakuza is a franchise I've always really wanted to get into. I've said that before on this channel, and I actually recently, this summer, got into it finally. I played Zero back in June, and Zero is one of my favorite games of all time already. I absolutely adore that game. Kiryu is a good character, but Majima really stole the show in that game, but the entire story and all the way it connects, it was just a fantastic game. So I've been very eager to just continue the series, try to chip away at it as honestly fast as possible, because I want to catch up. I know I'm not going to be able to catch up for the new one quite in time, but I want to get caught up on the series, and there's so many games. So I went ahead and played Kiwami, which is a much shorter game than Zero. I really liked it. It's not as good as Zero. I think a big part of that is the fact that Majima isn't a focal point in this game, which I knew going into it. But it's really good. And I guess to be fair to Kiwami, yes, it's a remake of 1, but it is still based on the first Yakuza game, whereas Zero was made, I think, after Yakuza 5. So a lot of modern, you know, writing choices and all that were able to be put into Zero, whereas Kiwami, Yakuza 1 is kind of like the baseline for the franchise, and it's really good. It's just not as good as Zero, but I really enjoyed it. I love the series. I love these characters. Even Kiryu, who I wasn't super in love with in Zero, I really came to love him in this game, and his relationship with Nishikiyama. If you haven't gotten into Yakuza, I highly recommend it. If you like, I love stories. I love character-driven stories. I love watching, you know, like the typical hour-long dramas, like you know, Better Call Saul and stuff like that. If you like that kind of stuff, if you like character-driven stories, Yakuza is absolutely something you should play. I will say, it is funny. I'm talking about a game I played. I think the gameplay is one of the weakest parts of it. You know, the combat's fine. It's just a kind of a pretty basic beat 'em up. Especially in this, once again, comparing it to Zero. Zero had so much going on, whereas this game is pretty basic because you only have Kiryu, you only have a couple of fighting styles, where in that game you had 2 whole characters and a ton of different fighting styles and a ton of different upgrades you could do. So it just kind of feels basic in comparison. But then, of course, you have the trademark staple of the Yakuza series, all of the crazy side quests. I didn't do as many of them as I would have liked in Kiwami. I did a ton in Zero, but because I'm trying to get through these a little bit faster, I didn't do a ton in Kiwami. I did a decent amount, though, and yeah, they're all great, you know. The craziest side quest in any video game series I've played. The side quests in Yakuza are absolutely incredible, sometimes better than the main story content itself. And yeah, these games are fantastic. I bought Kiwami 2 recently, so I'll be playing that here shortly. And yeah, I'm really excited to get more into the series. Another game I played this month, and this was a new release. It came out in July, I believe, on the eShop, but I actually imported a physical copy from Video Games Plus, Atelier Remake. So I've always been very intrigued by the Atelier games. I've always just kind of heard of them and known that they exist all the way back on like PS3 and all that, and then on Vita, and then with Switch, I actually had bought Atelier, Liddy, and Sewell, but I didn't really know what I was doing. I bought it digitally. It was like one of the very like early third-party games on Switch, and I didn't really know what I was doing. I didn't really like it, but I kind of chalk that up to just me being a dumb kid, or at least not, you know, I wasn't in the right mindset, right? So I've been very intrigued by these games because there are so many of them, kind of similar to Yakuza, although they're not all connected. There are so many Atelier games. If you watch my pickups video, I actually purchased most of them on Switch because I think it's very interesting that there are just so many of them, and there seems to be a very dedicated but niche fan base for them. But Atelier Remake, this is a remake of the very first Atelier game that came out on the PS1. It's fine. I didn't love it. I didn't hate it. It was just kind of like fine. Like I have no real issues with it. I just don't really think it did anything particularly well. It was a fine game. It was a remake of a PS1 game, so like they quite literally just remade it and did nothing else. That's what it feels like to me, at least. It's a pretty game. I like the way it looks. It has a very cute kind of chibi art style. Basically, in Atelier, the entire point is you are synthesizing stuff. In this case, Marlon or Marie. I don't really know the whole naming thing. I don't know why it's Atelier Marie, but their name is Marlon. I don't know. But anyway, her entire thing is she has to synthesize this 5-star grade weapon or item or whatever, right? Before, I think it's 5 years pass. And if she synthesizes this super high grade item, she passes her class. She gets to run her little Atelier shop, right? And because this is a remake of a PS1 game, the synthesizing aspect is pretty dang basic. There's not a ton of variety. I imagine when you get to like the more modern stuff like Ryza and Atelier Sophie, that gets a lot more robust. It's also an RPG, so there's turn-based combat, but you don't really have a dedicated party. There are characters, and they're named characters. It's not like you're just getting random people, but you kind of just hire them off the street, and then you kind of have storylines with them and, like, friendship stuff that going on, like little events that happen, almost like in a Harvest Moon game, but it just doesn't all work very well, in my opinion. I think I will like the newer Atelier games if I play them. This was very short. It only took me like 10 hours to beat, but I think if I play a more modern Atelier game that has a lot more going on, I think I'll really enjoy it. This was just a little too basic for me, but I like the art, I like the characters, I liked the music especially was actually really good in this, and I think I'll be an Atelier fan once I play some of the newer stuff. But as far as starting points, maybe Atelier Marie wasn't the greatest place to start, but I thought it'd be nice to just kind of have that point of reference moving forward, as this was technically the first Atelier game, and I mean, it's a remake, but this was the first game, so it was fine. But I'll be very curious to see what I think of Ryza. I'll probably honestly skip to that next because that is the one that everybody loves. That's like definitely the most popular Atelier game. So I'll definitely be checking that out, hopefully in the near future. But these games become time sinks. Atelier Marie, like I said, took me like maybe 10 hours. If you go to how long to beat, almost all of the other ones are like 60 hours. So I don't know when I'll be getting to this, but I would definitely want to play more Atelier soon. The next game I played is another July release. I thought about doing a dedicated video on this, but I decided not to because it was already a little too late. And typically, you know, just a little inside baseball here as a YouTuber. I don't like posting reviews super late. If I don't have my review up within the first week, I feel like what's the point? Who's going to click on this? People already watch reviews if they want to know about the game. So that's why I'm doing this type of video now for stuff I played a little bit later. I played at Disney's Illusion Island. This is from D-La Studios, the team that did that new Battletoads game for Xbox a couple years back. This is a Metroidvania with a kind of Rayman Legends art style and gameplay structure. I was surprised. When they announced this game last year, I was super interested in it. I'm not like a huge Disney fan or anything. I wouldn't consider myself like a Disney kid, but I really like the art style. I liked what they showed. I just thought it would be like Rayman Legends though, where it was just a 2D level-based platformer. No. This is a Metroidvania. It's a co-op Metroidvania. So I played through this entire game with my girlfriend. We didn't 100% it, but we did roll credits, and we got most of the stuff. Eventually, maybe like 75% of the way through, we were like, okay, we don't really care. We're not going to go for every little hidden Mickey. There's secret Mickeys you have to take pictures of around the map. Every upgrade. We didn't really care at that point. We just wanted to roll credits and see how the story ends. But this was a lot of fun. It's a nice entry point Metroidvania. If you're looking for like a hardcore experience, I mean, you can make it so you only have one heart and you die in one hit. I guess that'll make it a little bit more hardcore. But it's a pretty good entry point, I would say, if you have maybe younger siblings or, like, in my instance, a girlfriend who doesn't really play games. This is a good game to get them kind of into that mindset of like, okay, we're going to go backtrack to get this upgrade and go back to this area and do all these things that you do in a Metroidvania. It's a nice entry point Metroidvania that's very high quality. Has cute cutscenes with, you know, Mickey Mouse and Minnie and Goofy and Donald. Love my boy Donald. That's who I played as. It was fun. I enjoyed it. It's $40. It's a pretty short game. I think it took maybe 8 hours to beat, but we enjoyed it quite a bit, and I recommend it. Like I said, as an entry point Metroidvania. Don't go into this expecting something super in-depth, but it's a pretty nice, lighthearted adventure. I enjoyed it. Okay, taking a total tonal shift, and I realize almost none of these games have any connective tissue. I played a ton of Call of Duty this month. Modern Warfare 2 came out in November of last year, or maybe October, and I didn't really like it. I typically am not a huge fan of Infinity Ward's games. I like Treyarch a lot more, and if you don't know Call of Duty, that's Treyarch makes Black Ops, Infinity Ward makes Modern Warfare. I prefer Black Ops typically, you know, put it simply. I didn't really like Modern Warfare 2 when it came out, but I've been playing a lot of Warzone over the past year with my friends. That's just kind of how we talk. If we're going to talk, we're typically just playing Warzone. But I hadn't really been playing much of the 6v6 regular multiplayer. And usually with Call of Duty, I like to kind of go for challenges and do the camo challenges. The camo grind, that's a big part of Call of Duty for me. Cold War, which came out in 2020 with the PS5 launch, was one of my most played games of all time, I think already. I played the heck out of that game, grinding for camos, doing challenges, playing zombies. But with Vanguard and Modern Warfare 2, I just really didn't get into that mindset. But recently, with the announcement of Modern Warfare 3 from Sledgehammer, they confirmed that all of your camos and all of your cosmetics will be carrying over from Modern Warfare 2 to Modern Warfare 3. Which for some reason flipped a switch in me, and I was like, oh crap, I need to go do all these camo challenges. So by far the most played game in August for me was Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2, this 11-month-old game, or 10-month-old game that I just decided last minute, okay, I need 100% this basically. So I've been grinding out all the camos. I've just been doing the shipment playlist. If you've played Call of Duty, you know what shipment is. It's just this very small map. It's very easy to do camo challenges in, and I have been grinding this game. I've gotten gold camo in just about everything now. I think I'm missing a couple of the melee weapons, and then of course after you do gold camo, you can do the platinum challenges, then the polyatomic challenges, and then Orion, which is like the gold, like the crazy cosmic mastery camo that you get for doing everything. So I'll be chipping away at this over the next 2 months until Modern Warfare 3 comes out. I'm actually pretty excited for that game. Modern Warfare 2 is frustrating because when it launched, it had a lot of issues, and people knew it had issues. These are all issues we knew the game had when it was in open beta, a month or two before it came out. And Infinity Ward just never listened. They never really changed anything. The only major thing they fixed was they brought back hardcore mode. But in terms of movement, in terms of, red dots on the minimap, in terms of the way the perks work, they didn't fix anything because they knew they could sell it again for $70 with Modern Warfare 3. Which sucks because Modern Warfare 3 sounds like a huge step forward in terms of improving this foundation that Infinity Ward set. But it should have been a patch. I'm not going to sit here and say Modern Warfare 3 should be a DLC necessarily in terms of the content, but the main things they're marketing with Modern Warfare 3 are, we fixed the movement. We're putting the mini-map back as it should be. The perks are going to work the way you imagine they would. That type of stuff should have been fixed because we already knew it was an issue before Modern Warfare 2 even came out, and we told Infinity Ward it was an issue. The fact that they're bringing back all the Modern Warfare 2 2009 remastered maps, that's exciting. The new campaign being open sounds interesting. So in terms of new content and new weapons and stuff, that's going to be great, as it always is with Call of Duty. But the actual, fundamental stuff that should have been fixed in time for Modern Warfare 2's launch last year, that being a focal point of the marketing for MW3 is just kind of frustrating for me. It sucks, though, like I said, because I know the game's going to be great because they are fixing the issues I had with it. So I'll be playing it and enjoying it. But, man, Modern Warfare 2... kind of a rough year for Call of Duty fans, I ain't gonna lie. And then the final game I have been playing, bringing it back to the Nintendo Switch. This is a game that released, I think, in 2021 on PC, but then in 2022 on Xbox as a Game Pass game, and I played it back then quite a bit, but finally I've beaten Vampire Survivors. This is one of my favorite indie games of the past couple years. I adore this game. I played it a lot on Xbox and in PC when it came out, and even on mobile, but I knew they would bring it to Switch. Even before they announced it for Switch, I was like, okay, this is going to come to Switch, or even PlayStation, so I can do trophies. I'm just going to wait for it to come to a platform that I really am dedicated to. And in that last June Direct, they announced it for Switch, and I waited, and it came out on August 17th, I believe. I mentioned it in my August Games I'm Excited For video, and man, I absolutely grinded this game. I'm recording this a few days before it gets posted, because I'm kind of prepping stuff for PAX. I played Vampire Survivors for probably 12 hours yesterday. When I'm recording this, I tweeted it out. I literally, the next morning, or this morning, I had my entire dream was just me playing it. I could just hear the level up sound. If you don't know what Vampire Survivors is, and you're watching the gameplay right now, it's this very basic game where you just kind of run around killing hordes and hordes of enemies. It's almost like a 2D Dynasty Warriors game in a weird way, but you're getting these upgrades, you're comboing weapons, certain, weapons you then combo with a weapon effect, and then it can evolve into an even more powerful weapon. There are these different stages, and there's these different, secrets and weird, little riddles you kind of have to solve to unlock new characters and do these secret challenges, and even just beating the game itself was actually a little confusing because you had to do some weird bonus stage stuff. It's really satisfying. At the start, you can only play for 30 minutes, and then like this Grim Reaper will come kill you, but eventually you unlock endless mode, and that's where my enjoyment of this game really starts to skyrocket, because I love just making my best possible build. You can have 6 weapons and 6 kind of bonus effect items, planning out your ultimate build, and then just seeing how long you can go for, kind of just breaking the switch, literally. I mean, the frame rate will drop to, I'm not even joking, 2 FPS sometimes when you get to super high rounds. It's almost like zombies, I guess. It's really satisfying, just seeing all the numbers pop up on screen, seeing all these enemies getting absolutely obliterated. It can be hard, it can be tough, especially in the beginning. I would say the beginning couple of hours of this game are definitely the slowest, but once you get past that hurdle, once you unlock, there's a character who has this scroll, who does this up and down attack. She's really broken, at least as a noob to this game. Once you unlock her, and then you can just kind of beat through the game, get it in this mode, and do everything else, it becomes just this freaking playground where you can just do whatever you want, basically, and just go super long into these matches and unlock all these characters, and it's just really satisfying. There's a bunch of in-game achievements as well, which help fuel my desire to keep playing, where it's like, get to level 80 with every single character, and there's a ton of characters, because there's a character for every type of weapon. This game just has so much content. It's only a couple bucks on the eShop. I did buy the DLC. I have not done the DLC stages yet, so I'll be doing those very soon. If you have not played Vampire Survivors, I highly recommend you do it. If this game looks at all interesting to you, please go support these developers. This is one of the best indie games I have played in years. I truly, truly believe that, and I love it. I probably put 30 hours into it already on Switch, and my girlfriend also loves it. With the Switch version, worth noting, they added co-op. I think they updated the Xbox version as well, but they added co-op, so you can play, I think, 4-player co-op locally with friends. I played some with my girlfriend as well. She loved it too. It's a little disorienting playing with co-op, though, honestly, because the camera, like, moves around, and it's a little bit harder to follow. But it's really cool that they added that, and yeah, I'll definitely be checking out the DLC soon and playing many more hours of Vampire Survivors. I wish the Switch had trophies so I could really sink my teeth into it. I know that's just, like, a mental block I need to get over. If it comes to PlayStation, I'll probably be buying it again and going for the Platinum Trophy, but Vampire Survivors, if you have not played it, is an absolute... Honestly, this is one of my go-to contenders. This will be in my top 5 games this year, even though it came out last year, since I'll be counting it as a Switch version. This will definitely be in my top 5 for the year, absolutely. And that is going to do it for this video. Let me know what you guys have been playing down in the comments below. I'm pretty happy with the mixture of things I've been playing this year and this month in particular. My goal is always to, like, expand my horizons, expand my knowledge base of video games, and play new things. Not necessarily things I don't want to play. I'm not going to force myself to play a game I don't really like at all. But because I like most things, I'm interested in most things, which is why I play a game like Atelier, which is why I get into a franchise like Yakuza, and then I play this Disney Illusion Island game, even though I'm not a Disney kid, because I just love video games. So I'm always trying to play new things, while also, you know, going back to the classics, Call of Duty, of course. Next month should be an interesting month, because there's a lot of stuff coming out. I don't know how much of it I'm going to buy. I definitely want to play Baten Kaitos, though, so we'll see how next month goes, because that's going to be an absolute time sink. So yeah, like I said, let me know what you guys have been playing down in the comments below. So subscribe here for more videos pretty much each and every day, and until next time, folks, peace.